Woke up this morning, coffee in hand, flipped on the screen, my favorite man. Crafty's on the TV, chipping that stone with obsidian and flint, he's in the zone. He's shaping the future with a hit and a crack, building the legends, ain't no turning back. With every sharp edge, he's teaching the way of the ancients who thrived back in the day. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. Underneath those layers of dust and grit, finds the magic every little bit. A sculptor of stories, buried in the ground, each piece he uncovers wisdom abound. With every collision, the sparks start to fly. As the old world awakens, we question why. He's digging deeper where the shadows play, reviving old crafts that could fade away. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. And in this life, we're all just searching for our place in the world, a way to keep working. With the flick of his wrist, he brings forth the light. In every gray morning, he makes it feel right. So gather around, let the stories unfold. Crafty's our guide through the young and the old. With the sun rising high and the day moving on, Crafty carves dreams till the light is all gone. He's shaping the future one chip at a time. With every creation, he's keeping the rhyme. From the heartland of Texas to the mountains of green, the legacy lives on through the stonework unseen. With every perspective, he's showing the way. Crafty keeps going, come whatever may. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. So here's to the mornings with coffee in hand and Crafty on the screen, the true heart of the land. With a hit and a crack, he's paving the way through stone and through story. He inspires the day.
Hello, hello. Sound test, sound test. Let's see. Hello, hello. Sound test, sound test. Let's see. Okay, we got it. We got sound. Let's see who we got in the chat. Marty YB's here. Hey, Marty. Mike Mason. Let's see. Scott Goldsberry. Jeff Baird. Stoneface. We got some new guys also. Flakesguard. Alan is here. Jim Main is here. Keepers. Let's see who else. Tommy Taylor. Did I say hi already? The Primitive Gentleman is here. I forgot who made Patrick's theme song and what AI did they use. You got to ask Danny Collins. Danny Collins is a musician and he wrote me that song and used AI for the music, right? I mean the lyrics. I mean not the lyrics, but the voice, I guess. I don't even know. I don't know how to make those. I just mess around with the visual AI where you can create a character, but I haven't done the music one yet. Let's see. Who else? Uncle Mike Bob is here. Here we go. Yes, yes. Let's see. Charles Rooker is here. Hey, he says, "Hey Patrick, bring on the stone and bone. One of your fellow YouTube nappers sprung a leak and did something. Uh-oh. Hey, what's that? $5. Alan gave me $5. Heart of Texas Nap-In Travel Fund. Haha. Yes, let's start off the live stream correct. We already have a super chat for the gas fund. It's going to take a lot of gas. Yeah. Without stops, the travel time from Vermont, where I'm at, to the Nap-In is 30 hours. A little bit over 30 hours, and that does not include stops. So yeah, I need some gas money. Anyways, not that I want anyone to feel sorry for me. I do that once a year at least. Let's see. John Jones is here. Mac Bales. Hey. Who else? Who else? Before I start napping, you have 35 people in the chat, but I'm going to start not paying attention to that anymore. I've been looking at all kinds of live streams, and yeah, the live streams that get a lot of views, you don't learn nothing from those. So I don't care. If I want to get a lot of views, I got to make sure no one learns anything. Yeah. So what good is that? So I'm going to stop looking at what makes live streams successful, because I already figured it out. Whatever is not going to help you learn anything, that's what a live stream, that's what a successful live stream looks like. Yeah. What did I see today? I looked at a live stream and I saw today, just somebody holding up their dog or their cats. Well, both. Just people holding up their dogs and cats and say, "See, you guys wanted to see my dog and see my cat, right? See?" And then, "See again?" And then, "You still see him?" "Yeah, I'm just going to hold him up the whole time." What do you learn from that? And they get thousands of views just because they want to see the dog or the cat. And no, when I go to Texas, I'm not going to put Kevin on the live stream. No. Mm-mm. I mean, I might show a little video, but that's it. Okay, let's see. Are you going to spring Coshocton Nap-In this year? I don't know. It's up in the air right now. Everything's up in the air because, yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing. When I go to Texas, my schedule always gets messed up. And sometimes I have to spend money doing stuff that I didn't plan on doing. Sometimes I don't spend much money, which is good, but that's rare. Yeah. So it's up in the air. I know for sure that I'm going down to the Texas Nap-In, but I'm going to a Nap-In in Tennessee. The Tennessee Classic Nap-In in Chapmansboro, Tennessee. It's Twin Oaks Bowhunters. Twin Oaks Bowhunters, Tennessee Classic. It's a competition for archery, primitive archery shooters. And there's bow building and Flintknapping. And I'm going to be Flintknapping. Big surprise there. Anyways, that's in the beginning of May. First weekend of May is the Tennessee Classic. And then April 9th through 12th is the Texas Nap-In in Brady. All right, so what else we got? I might go to Niblets, but it's all up in the air right now as far as that goes. I don't know if I'll go to Louisiana, because I got to visit. I got to visit a friend of mine in Arkansas and somebody from. Well, I don't want to say. I'll start revealing information about people who are innocent. Who else is horrified about the fuel for this Texas trip? Nah, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, I see it, but the prices are pretty high here in Vermont. I'm already used to the high prices of gas. Let me see here. I guess that's it, right? Let me start napping. So what this is about is I'm going to make something with natural tools tonight. Friday nights is natural tools night. It's called Antler and Stone. Friday Antler and Stone. So I use hammer stones and natural abrading stones. I got some material lined up, some stuff that looks kind of chunky, but I think it's good. I don't know what that is. I think it's Fort Payne, right? If this is too good, I'll switch to something that's not as good. I have some Texas tabular, or somewhat similar to tabular, that I don't think naps as good as this Fort Payne, but we don't know. So these are the two that I'm going to experiment with. Okay? If it's too good, I'm not going to do the natural tool nap on it because I don't want to break it. Natural tool napping is inherently more difficult than copper napping or steel or aluminum or anything else. It's the most difficult way to nap is with the natural tools, like they used to do it back in the day. It's the most difficult way to nap because, you know, we're now advanced in our modern society. We have better tools. Yes, I said it. Okay? All right. So let's get to napping. Yes, I'm not going to check the chat while I nap. And I'm thinking of doing some silent live streams where I don't chat or check the chat. I don't speak and I don't check the chat. I see some of those live streams doing really good, and some of them are actually teaching you stuff, but they don't say nothing, and they get lots of views. I think I might get more views if I just don't say nothing. Yeah? Yes or no? Yeah, but I don't like it because my, you know, my brain doesn't work without my ears. Yeah, I know that. I know. But why then does some of those live streams that don't have any dialogue do well? Why am I worried about that anyways? Because if I don't try to figure out what's the best way to do a live stream, it's almost like I'm wasting my time. Yeah. I got to figure out good ways to do it. Most interesting and hopefully educational, that kind of stuff. Maybe some people are hindered. They don't want to learn because they don't like when I speak English, or they don't like when I speak, period. I don't want that to happen too much anyway. When I can prevent it, yeah. It's easier for me actually if I don't speak during the napping. It's not only because some people might prefer it. It's because it's easier for me. That's partially the reason. The other reason is YouTube likes me more if I do live streams that attract a lot of attention. Yeah. And it's always good to have YouTube liking me because it sends me notifications of good stuff. Yeah, you're invited to this or that. You can participate in this or that. It sends me good messages. Oh, I scooped that one. Anyways, yeah, I try to adjust my grip so I won't scoop it, and that's what happens. I lose my hammerstone. All right, so what am I going to do? What are these things? These I just worked on this just before the live stream. Okay, these are hammers with antler inserts. You know what I mean? These are like Adze types of hammers. These are axis deer antler tips, and I attached these with rubber bands because I didn't have time to do the rawhide thing, or else I would have attached these with rawhide or rawhide lace. Okay, rawhide lace is best if you want to be completely primitive, but I use rubber bands. Okay. Once I get past this stage of roughing it out, I'm going to try these hammers. Okay, and you can replace the little bits. Yeah. That's the beauty of these. The Adzes, you can put stone or antler or wood in the bit. Yeah, whatever you need. And you can use it for digging, for hide scraping, and guess what? For Flintknapping too. All right. Napping Adzes, yes. And I encourage you guys to try the napping Adzes because they're cool. And the way I did it, just in case you don't know, this is the trunk of this is the main beam of the branch. This is a branch, and this is the sub branch. Was it like this? Yeah, maybe this is the bottom of the tree. That's the top of the tree. And this branch came out like this, but it wasn't perfectly perpendicular, so I had to bend it with heat to get it straighter like that. But it doesn't matter too much, this angle. I just wanted to make it perfectly 90 degrees, just because I don't know why. And then this one is just a single piece with no branches going out. It just has that little shoulder in the back. I drilled a hole there. I think you've seen this before. It has this little cutout. And this axis deer, it's supposed to be like awesome and tremendously fantastic antler. Nice and dense, more dense than moose. Right? I mean, Native Americans did not have this stuff, but I want to try it anyway. Okay? All right. So here we go. There's going to be some play in the rubber bands. Those tips, they move around a little bit because they're rubber bands. You know, they're not. It's not firm like rawhide, so I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. You know, it'd be better if I use rawhide wrappings. Oh dang! What did I do? That took too much. I don't know if I should continue. This looks like excellent stuff. It's like some of the most greatest and fantastic Fort Payne. Yeah, I got this from Aaron Estes. He sent me a bunch of Fort Payne. Excellent stuff. All right, so let's see what we can do here. This is good. This is not the hard part of Flintknapping yet. Okay. The hard part, I'm going to be using those little Adze hammers, or whatever you call them. Okay. So right now I've got to figure out how to flatten this out. Get rid of the bulky areas. Yeah, like that. And I can use those flakes, so you can't have them. Okay? Those big flakes that come off of this, I'm going to use them later. So you can't have them. Yeah, the danger of this with some of this chert, if it's got rounded surfaces, is it can break the hammerstone. So if I break the hammerstone, it's not my fault. Okay? All right. What happened? Something weird happened. Did that come off of there? I need to see. Because if something weird happens, I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Right? That's what happened, yeah. I was hitting like this and only a little flake came off. It's supposed to be a big old flake. What happened? And you guys let me know, right? As usual, let me know if the sound cuts out. It'd be better if you did like a 99-cent super chat or something if the sound cuts out. That way I can see the banner come up. I noticed last time you guys were saying it over and over and over, but I couldn't see. It just scrolls. The chat just scrolls and I can't see what the comments are. But if it's a super chat, I can see it. Yeah. I know it's a bummer to have to pay to tell me something, but I don't know how else to do it. I'm not paying attention to the chat all the time. So that was good. I like that one. So it looks like we might be able to get something out of that. I think I've already napped some Fort Payne chert. Now that I think about it, I did do some Fort Payne chert already on the Natural Tool Fridays. I just remembered. Yeah. So maybe I'll just do the biface on this one and that's it, and then I scoot over to the other one. Yeah. Okay. I'm torturing this. Why? Well, I want to get big flakes, but this hammerstone is kind of rough on the material. Anyways.
Yeah, but you should just use a softer hammerstone, like one of those little chalk stones. Use a chalk stone because it's soft hammer.
No, the chalk stone, yeah, it's a soft hammer, but it breaks. Yeah, This is starting to crumble and break as it is, and this is a hard hammer. You can imagine what would happen with a chalk hammerstone. Yeah, I'm hitting this hard, okay? I'm not interested in knapping something easy. Nope. Well, I can't say that because I do like knapping easy stuff. But I want to show how it is to knap something difficult with natural tools, because a lot of times, and back in the day, they were knapping difficult materials. They didn't always have good materials to knap. Although I think some of the most well-made points were made from the best materials. The majority of the stuff back in the day were made from materials are not the best. Okay? This had internal issues, so that's my excuse on this one. Let's go to another piece. This one had some cracks, so we're not going to get much out of it. Right? Maybe a little arrowhead. I might come back to it. So it'll just be part of the collection of flakes. So that's what happened to that one. Even if I had used copper, it would have been the same thing. It had some internal issues, and you could tell, right? I mean, I'm hoping you could tell that it had some internal issues in there, which is fine. I mean, a lot of this stuff does. Okay, all right. But yeah, some of these flakes are good for arrowheads. Little bitty arrowheads. How about if oh, this is Fort Payne too. Where's the other one? There it is, right. I'm gonna start knapping on this. This is Texas rock. This is raw. That Fort Payne is raw too, and I don't think Fort Payne responds to heat treatment. So it's always raw. But Texas stuff can be heat treated, but this is not heat treated as far as I know. Right? Right, yeah, this is rough. This is tough stuff. But it's good because we want to see how to knap tough stuff with the natural tools. And we want to see how much pain and suffering is involved. Yeah. Yep. So these two things are about the same in hardness. I mean, you can use chert as a hammerstone. Just quartzite is more crushy like this, right? So it doesn't split apart like this. This doesn't fracture conchoidally. Or conchoidally, yeah. But this does, but it's about the same amount of hardness. Each one is the same hardness if you look on a hardness scale. Someone once asked me, can you nap with like a chert hammerstone? Like, see, this is perfect for a hammerstone. I just noticed it, see? And you can hammer with it. It's chert, though. Yeah, it's true. But what happens is you have a bunch of incipients in your hammerstone, and after a while, those incipients just cause a lot of issues when you're trying to hit, because it'll get all crumbly, and you don't see them, but there's bulbs of initiation inside the stone, and it'll fail catastrophically once in a while. But before it does, there'll be something weird happening while you're knapping, and you think it's you, but it's not. It's the stone. So I don't recommend knapping with something that fractures in a conchoidal way. Knap with something that fractures like in a crumbly way, like this. Okay, that's what I recommend. But you can do whatever you want. You don't have to take my recommendation. Okay? You can even listen to internet culture if you want, and then go astray with the masses. The masses go astray. Yes, they do. Yep. They followed whatever Pied Piper is playing the nicest music, and they end up all falling over the cliff when they nap. Anyways, here we go. I left the heater off because last time I had the heater on, it sounded terrible. Let me turn it on. I'm going to check the sound because I'm starting to freeze myself. I'm starting to. It's like 42 degrees. Hold on. I turned it on. Now I'm going to check to see how the sound is with the heater on. Hold on. I turned it on. Now I'm going to check to see how the sound is with the heater on. Hold on. I turned it on. Now I'm going to check to see how the sound is with the heater on. I don't know. It sounds okay. It sounds okay. Who else we got in the chat? Atomic Zombies here. It's got to be true. It said so on the internet. Yeah. Always. Let's see. The Primitive Gentleman. I always wonder, wouldn't hitting wood with a chert or obsidian axe risk exploding and injuring you? Wouldn't hitting the wood with a chert or obsidian adze risk exploding? Yeah, it's always a risk. Always. You can get injured all the time. You can get injured doing Flintknapping. You can get injured, just carrying rocks from the quarry because you got something heavy on your back. You could slip, or you could be too heavy for ice if you want to cross some ice. You could capsize your canoe. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do that would injure you related to napping. It's not a hazard-free zone. Let's see. Wow, that's a nice rock you got there, says Jorge Tamis. Well, if you say so. Let's see. Is Patrick going for an adze blade with this one? No, Primitive Gentleman. These are my napping tools for tonight. These are very specific percussion hammers. They've got little bits on there that are made from Axis deer antler, and they're attached with rubber bands onto these adze handles, and I'll be napping with those once we get to it. Once we get to the finer aspects of percussion, we do the rough percussion with the hammerstone first. Okay, so let me check the chat. I was just checking the volume because I turned the heater on. The heater messed up my live stream last time I had it on during the live stream. Let me just check one more time. Live stream last time I had it on during the live stream. Let me just check one more time. It sounds okay. All right. The microphone's so stupid. Yeah, it's 42 degrees in the shop right now. Let's see. Thanks for explaining. Can't wait to see it. Okay, cool. I can't wait to see it either because I'm not sure. It's got a little bit of play. See what? Watch. See that? It's got a little bit of play in it because it's rubber. I don't like that amount of play. That you lose energy like that. But with rawhide or sinew, you also have a slight amount of play as well. Now you put glue in there. I've done this before. You put glue in there, and it doesn't hold it steady for Flintknapping because you hit multiple times. It doesn't hold. It breaks the joint right away, no matter what kind of glue you use in the joint if you're Flintknapping with it. Now, if you're hunting with a projectile, or if you're cutting with a knife, with a projectile, it's just a one-shot deal. If the glue joint breaks, that it's still made penetration, and you still kill the animal, even if the glue joint breaks. Okay, because you've got that initial strike. With a knife, usually you don't exert enough force to break that glue joint while you're doing the butchering, usually. Now, if you're fighting with the knife, you have to make sure everything's nice and solid with a lot of wrapping and a big old stem. So if you do manage to break the glue joint when fighting, it's not going to fall out, or it's not going to be really, really loose. Like this one here, it's kind of loose as it is, which is okay, I suppose, but see, it'll go from side to side as well. So we'll see how this goes, but it's okay for Flintknapping as far as that goes, because when I use a billet, when I use a billet like this, it's kind of loose anyway. It's kind of wobbly, just because I'm holding it in my hand. My hand's not perfectly rigid. Okay, here we go. We're gonna rough this out, this stone here. Some people might think it's really nice stuff, but it's not that easy to nap this. Yeah. It might look easy, but I just want to give you a heads up that it's not that easy to nap it. Okay? All right.
So much talking, not much doing.
I know. It looks okay. Stone looks okay. I mean, As long as it breaks concoidally, we might be able to get something from it. Yeah. Now, back in the day, they were very picky about the rocks they used sometimes because they would travel for miles and miles to get it. Even when they had suitable stone available near them, they would still go out of their way to get good stuff. And that tells you how much of a difference it makes in the knapping when you have good stone. Okay? It probably made them happy too. Yeah. To finally knap with something good, but they would have to travel months to get it. Or they would have to only have it available to them during certain times of the year when they traveled for their hunting trips, as an example. There are many different reasons to travel, but the hunting trips are probably the best reason. Okay. I do need to grind this because I'm getting some crushing. So that means the edge is still not strong enough for what I need. This could take a while, even though this is the easy part. Let me try the billet. Let's see if I can advance faster and further by using the billet. Where'd it go? I just had a second ago because I was telling you about it. Yeah, here it is. This is my go-to. It's my favorite. It's whitetail. I don't use moose billets anymore because I break them or crack them. They don't break. They just crack. They're too brittle for me to use the moose. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but internet says moose is best. It's just so weird and nothing works for you like it should, you know?
Yeah, I know. Nothing works for me like it should. I know. Okay, what's going on? That's still not doing it. I got to grind it down even more. The antler's not supposed to be ground down much. I mean, the edge is not supposed to be ground down much for antler, huh? But it still didn't do it. And that was such a perfect edge. What's going on? It's because the stone is not easy to knap. It's not really rocket science. It can get extremely complicated. But if it's not working, it's probably the stone or the tools. If you've had some experience already. Now, if you have not knapped 400 pounds of stone, then it's probably you, yes. But after you get several hundred pounds of stone under your belt, and if it's not working, it's probably the stone that is just not cooperative. Okay? All right. Let's see if I can focus and do this. Let's see. I'm hitting it really, really hard. That was good. Why wasn't it doing it on the other side? Why doesn't it do it this way? It did it that way. Some people say it might have a grain to it, so it doesn't like that way, but it likes this way because of the grain. Well, yeah, I've heard that before, but there is grain in certain types of stone, but it's not the normal thing. Most stone does not have grain in a certain direction where it, if you go against the grain, it's not going to knap well. That's a rare quality of stone, but it does exist. And sometimes it's imperceptible, yeah, so sometimes, this doesn't feel like it has grain, but who knows? It may just be something I can't tell because it's not that pronounced. But it can make all the difference because subtle things and almost imperceptible things can make all the difference in Flintknapping. So I don't notice a grain in this, but it might have. It might knap easier in one direction than the other, in other words. Okay.
Use the hammers, dude. Use the hammers. You've been putting it out here like a tease. You're such a tease.
Just hold on. I will use it, but I want to, you know, I'm battering this one and abusing it first. I don't want to abuse those this much. Okay? I just put those together. I kind of have a little bit of sentimental attachment to them already. I don't want to mess them all up. I'm going to wait until I can, you know, take off some relatively small flakes that don't require a lot of force. Hello from Tejas. Oh yeah, Sal's in the house. $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Sal. Awesome. Hello from Texas. All right, so I gotta hit this super duper hard. I don't want to. Why don't I want to? Because all kinds of weird things happen sometimes when you hit really super hard. You never know. And the dreaded overshot sometimes rears its ugly head. And its head is ugly. Oh, yes. It is super ugly. Well, that worked out. Yeah. I wonder why they would do fluting when it looks like it can be, you know, you can do nice long flakes from the tip or the base. Yeah, that's why they do fluting. Because there's a lot of mass behind these strikes, whereas there's not as much mass behind the strike in this direction. There's more resistance in that direction, so you lose less energy. Okay? All right. So the flutes are a consequence of the ease of removing flakes from the longitudinal direction. Okay? All right. It just coincidentally looks good. It's an incidental property that it looks good. All right, here we go.
No, it's a technological trait, dude. Bro, it's technology. That's not just because it looks good. It's technology.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, bro. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can get some thinning going on here. Or no, I got to get rid of the edge and then get rid of this nasty edge. And then I can do thinning. Okay? We're still not into the difficult part of Flintknapping yet. Okay? Let me get rid of this. When you zigzag, you don't need to grind very much. But when you get to the end of the zigzag, yeah. That'll just crush right off of there if I don't grind it at least a little bit. Let's see. Come on. There it goes. Yes, yes. Good, good. Fantastic, fantastic. Let me see. All right, so one more big one, and then I can check the chat. We still got like a turtleback almost. The hardest hit of all is coming up soon. I'm having to hit it increasingly hard to get these flakes to run past halfway. I mean, I can get smaller flakes, but I need these to go past halfway. See, most of them are going to halfway, but not much further. That's why I had to take one from the tip, some from the base, because they're not going past halfway very easily from the side. I'm going to try to force it, and if it doesn't work, we're going to have to make this really narrow. Okay? In order to get these flakes to go halfway or more so it gets thin, because everyone wants to see thinness, which is perfectly okay. I want to see thinness too. All right? All right. Maybe I should just zigzag everything. And we don't have to worry about stupid lowering it and grinding it. Just zigzag everything. But no, it doesn't always work that way. Okay. Have I reached a separate phase? Because this feels like it's going to be a different mindset from here on in. I think we are in the second phase. We've already done the easy part. Now it feels extremely difficult. So let me pause here. Okay, whenever it starts to feel like it's the next phase, I pause. Okay? This next set of flakes is going to be very difficult. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so here we go. And, I'll be using a lot of brain power and physical strength power, so to speak, at the same time to get this thin down. Okay. See, I'm going to be driving flakes off of these edges into the middle to get rid of that turtleback and to thin it down. But I've got to be very, very careful and use a lot of force. You can't get big flakes without a lot of force. But when it starts getting thin, you have to be more careful. All right. This feels very dense also. It's very dense chert. What is that? That's a rock. It's called chert. What do we got in the chat? Hit the like button, everybody, says Justin. Justin Cornelius is here. He says hit the like button. Yep. Hey, what happened, Keepers? Let me see. Sam Folks is here. Wrap the hide off of there. Whap the hide off of there. This is what happens when I have to try to catch up with the chat. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Let's turn the heater off just in case. I don't want it to interfere with what I'm trying to say. What happened, Keepers? Something happened. I'd missed it. We don't have to wait for another moderator to take over. I will police the chat and I will kick them out if I see some weirdos. Non-committal says, how'd you get into napping? I don't know. Should I tell him? Should I tell him a story? How I got into napping? Let me think about it. I'll think about it. Let's see. What other question is there? Oh, I got to put a like and a heart on the super chat from Sal. Let's see. Stoneface is here. I picked up a few cobbles that look like this stuff last time I was in Texas, says Atomic Zombie. Yeah, this was pretty common, but this was from Harper, Texas. But it's pretty common. Usually I heat treat this stuff that's dull and kind of grainy. But I think I can make some out of this. If not, I'm going to switch to a different piece. I need to be able to notch it, and this stuff doesn't feel notchable unless I get it really thin. Justin Cornelius, thank you. Patrick, thank you for everything you do and your ability to teach and make it fun. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you think so. I am glad you think so. Killer Cork says, Patrick or anyone, I'm going to try my hand at a bow build. Anyone know a good source to purchase Osage Orange stave or two? Other than eBay? You can buy them off of eBay. Otherwise, you'll have to, it's word of mouth mainly. I mean, I could direct you to some people that I've bought Osage from before, but it's very important that we all realize that just because someone has sold Osage before doesn't mean they always have it on hand. That's very important. Okay, same with stone. Just because someone had excellent, let's say they had excellent Mexican Imperial Jasper big pieces. And then we'll say, is it correct for us to say, okay, just go to so-and-so for the excellent pieces of large Mexican Imperial jasper? Why is it not good to say that? Because they might not have it anymore. Same with Osage, good Osage staves. So it's very difficult to answer a simple question like that. It's a good question, but it's got a very difficult answer. Okay? If you want to know what's available right now within 5 minutes, you go to eBay. Yeah. What do we got here? What kind of chert is this? It's a Texas chert that's not that great. It's like on a 6. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 6. Heat treat, it could get up to about an 8 as far as quality, but it's probably a 7 even with heat treat. This is from Harper, Texas. It's called Harper, Texas chert. I don't know. It's some kind of Edwards Plateau chert, which comes in many, many, many varieties. So if you say Edwards Plateau chert, it's like saying leaves on a forest floor. There are many different leaves on the forest floor. Okay. Flickscar says, speaking of background sound, Marty, I enjoy the backup cluckers. Chickens in the background, huh? Let's see. Mike Tufts has some bow staves, but I think they are black walnut, says Ralph Snyder. Hey, Ralph, how's it going? Barrett says, what do you think about the Monteverde controversy? I think it's only controversial if you're part of the internet culture. There's definite archaeological evidence of very early occupation on Monteverde. So there's really no controversy unless you talk to the dum-dums. Okay? All right. The heater is quiet, no noise from it, says Stoneface. Awesome. I'm glad, because I hate when I review one of my videos and all I get is a bunch of weird sounds in the background. And then it starts to make the voice sound bad too. Andrew says, I got into napping because I laid down. That's the wrong kind of napping. Yeah, dude, this is not that kind of napping, although those do very well. Yeah, I saw a live stream where this girl was just sitting there. I think she was eating bonbons and just laying down, and people were watching, like 1,000 viewers or something. What are bonbons? Don't worry about it. Let's see. Only old guys know what they are. Okay, I think that's it, right? Let me check one more time. Yeah, don't nap while you're napping. No. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Yes, we're gonna hit this hard enough for the rocks back at the quarry to feel this hit. Yeah. Its relatives are going to feel this. There's going to be disturbance in the force, as I like to say. When I hit this rock, and these next hits, gotta prepare the edge, making sure it's not going to fall apart when I hit it. Gotta chip in the correct way, and if it's too weak on the edge, it's not going to chip in the correct way. Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm going to start on this where I left off. And hitting really hard is not that easy because it's hard to be accurate. But I think that worked pretty good. Yes, it did. See, that's what you want. You want coast to coast. You don't want overshot. You want that coast to coast. That was good. But you can kind of feel and tell just by the sound of this. Hopefully, let me turn this. Come on, I'm bumping into everything. Hold on. Let me turn the heater off and listen. You can kind of tell how tough the stone is just by the sound of this. Okay? I don't know. As you gain experience, you can tell that's pretty tough stone just by the sound of it. Okay? All right. I just wanted to mention that because I've been knapping long enough that I can tell by the sound of the stone that it's pretty tough. All right. But that worked out good. But I had to hit that really, really hard. Harder than any other hits before this. Believe it or not. Yes. I got to set this edge up better. Hold on. It's this part right here is not that great. So let me figure out how to hit that so just a little flake comes off. Yeah, like that. And now I got a better chance of doing the same thing again. I want another flake just like that. And this is the same as this. These are both the same kind of stones, except I cracked this in half so I can use it as an abrader. And it works pretty good. You know, months ago I did that. With bipolar percussion. What's bipolar percussion? Is this some kind of psychological problem? Yes and no. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. Hold my breath. Don't hold my breath. Don't hold the breath and take a deep breath and hit this so that there's a disturbance in the force. All right. Oh, I did hit it like I wanted its relatives to feel that, but I didn't do anything. It's not doing it. Okay. Let me think here. I can use my moose antler, but it doesn't feel like it'll generate enough speed. I need speed as well as weight. Both. You need both speed and weight. The way I nap, I either have to hit hard or harder. I never back off that much unless it starts to get thin. Then yeah, I'll back off a little bit. But usually when I hit, it's either hard or harder. But it's also a matter of swing. I swing fast or faster. I don't slow it down. Okay? All right. There we go. Let's try it one more time. It's not doing it. So I'm going to move to a different area. Maybe I can get it from a different area. If I hit it too hard, it'll break the whole stone. Okay? That's the problem. Let's see. It'll break the whole thing in half if I hit too hard. And no, this won't do it. This is for smaller flakes. Okay? All right. Let's see if that did something. Oh, yeah, but that flake was kind of thin. I need thicker flakes than that. But I'll take it. Yeah, I'm not going to complain. But I need them to be thicker than that. This side is okay. I don't have to worry too much about this side. It's this side that I need to hit. And if I hit it with a hammerstone, I'm afraid that it'll take off a big bite. It's got to be just the right kind of tool. Yeah. And the billet is very versatile. Yeah. The hammerstone kind of just smashes everything, and it can be versatile, but it tends to just smash. You know, just kind of remove a lot from the edge. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit from this side. I messed that up. Right? Yeah. Trying to make a flake that was too long, too much inward force. Yeah, there it goes. It doesn't like the inward force. Most stones don't like inward force. And that's the kind of force you need in most cases to get them thin. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to hit it there again because that's useless. I'm going to try to hit it right there. No, that didn't work. Okay. Hold on. So I changed the angle I was hitting to go more downward, and yeah, I guess shorter flake. But at least it did something. Yeah, it did something bad by removing a lot of width. But I guess that's okay. It is getting thinner. Yes. All right. Much better. Yeah. Better. Let's try this. I'm gonna try this and see. It's kind of bulky, but we're gonna try it. Just so I can get some little flakes to test this out. Yeah, I might be able, excuse me, I might be able to get some good speed on this hammer. But it takes a little bit of getting used to. Hold on. Yeah, looks like it'll do something. I gotta get used to the distance here. The distance is different from the billet. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding it right here, but see the distance is different. So that's one thing to get used to. The other thing is the weight of it is different. And the way it flakes is going to be different because this has some play in it. See that? It's got some play in it, like there. So it's going to feel weird. But I'm hoping I can get some accuracy because I'm holding it like a regular hammer. Yeah, it feels like I can be more accurate with it. Yeah, see that? Hopefully. Yeah, like that. I'm just trying to shape it. Hold on. The real test is to see if it can make long flakes. Yeah. All right, so I know I can hit the tip and get some flakes. The tip is one of the most difficult spots to get flakes to behave. But I'm going to try the side now and see. Let's see. I'm going to try to get rid of that crunchy spot. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. I suppose. Okay, I can be accurate with it, but I need a little bit more force behind it. I'm going to have to deal with that later. Yeah. Is it ruining this? No, this is holding up. This is Axis Deer. It's supposed to be the toughest antler that I can get my hands on. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they did. And of course, indirect percussion is even more accurate. But some guys can be extremely accurate with the billet. I just have a hard time with it. Same with boppers. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's good. And it might look easy, but it takes a lot of practice, okay? I mean, I've got a lot of practice in general. Just I'm kind of new to this, except I have used adzes for woodworking, but I'm kind of new to using the adze for Flintknapping. Okay, although I have used it before, just not very much. Yeah, that's good. Where else can I hit? I'm an opportunistic Flintknapper, so I just look for opportunities. Mhm. It does feel accurate though. Yeah. I do want to hit the tip. I am hitting where I'm wanting to hit. I wanted to run a flake from the tip there, yes. And yeah, I know it removes length, but hitting flakes off the tip can thin down the tip quickly. So it's not a bad thing. Excellent. Nice. I mean, it's still crude, but at least we're getting somewhere. Even with that play in the tip, because it moves either way. It moves this way. See that? And it also moves this way. But it's not that bad. I've got like 4 rubber bands, big ones, wrapped around here, so we shall see. Okay, ready? I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the next stage. So the preliminary thinning is done. Now comes the final thinning after this. Although I don't need to thin it anymore in some cases. If I wanted to duplicate a certain artifact that's this thick, I could stop right here as far as thinning goes. But we shall see if we can get it thinner. Yeah. But the second, I don't know, what stage should I call this? The preliminary thinning is done. I did the bifacing, and now the preliminary thinning, and then the final thinning comes after this. Yeah, which is now. Right now, I'll be doing the final thinning. I got to figure out how to get rid of lumps like that and defects like this. What time is it? It's Friday night. We're just going to go until whenever. Yeah. Doc V says the Adze moves too much. Every time it moves while striking the stone, that movement robs energy and disperses it. It's going to cause a lot of step fractures. Try securing it with deer sinew. Have you been watching? Did you see the flakes that I removed from it? From this? Did you see all the step fractures it caused? It didn't cause very many. This was already a trouble spot before with the billet. I don't think it's going to cause a lot of step fracturing. There's a step fracture right there, yes. But this area is already a trouble spot. That's still okay because I'm going to be hitting from this side in a minute. The main concern for me was just to get rid of that lump right here.
Yeah, you're just making excuses.
You'll see. It's all in the plan, right? We'll see. I'm going to crack this. I chipped the antler. Chipped it again. Okay. I see how this is going. Yay. All right. So this is, I'm eliminating some step fractures. Okay. Not generating them. but it's taking its toll on the antler. See, that changes the dynamic of. I got used to where it was hitting before. Now I got to change the position of the hitting because it's chipped now. That's one of the things about natural tools. It's not consistent as far as the tools go. Yeah, they did. Come on. Yeah, they did. Okay. We shall move on. We'll move on from the tip because I don't want to spend too much time there and mess it up. Yeah. Dead. Still have trouble here. Gonna need more force in that spot. Ooh, I scooped that one. I think that this naps better on this side. The lighter color seems to nap a little differently, but just barely perceptible. Come on. So I can compensate for the loss of energy on this by swinging faster. And I am able to swing faster because the distance from my hand to the tip is more. It's a greater distance, so the velocity increases. So whatever I'm losing in energy, which I am, I can make up for in speed of the strike. It still be relatively accurate. Whereas, for some reason on the billet, if I increase the speed, my accuracy starts to suffer. But this one seems to be, I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea why it's different. I do like how fast I can strike with it. That makes a big difference. If I can strike fast, it makes a big difference. I need to get rid of that lump somehow. It's getting bruised and battered. Hold on. Let me know if the sound is still good. Yeah, I cheated and used the sander, but it takes too long with natural tools to grind it down. Yeah, that's my excuse. Yeah, that feels weird now. Okay. I got that lump, right? Yes. I just need the other lump. Yay. Voila. Yes, yes. That was for sure a voila. I think it helped grinding it down a little bit smoother. Yes, yes. Let's see how thin we can get it. We shall see. Yeah, the edge does not look quite right. It still looks kind of weak. Yeah, I can see flakes coming off. Okay. Yeah, it was a little bit weak. What are we going to make out of it? Why is it getting so small? Well, that's the disadvantage of natural tools. You can't really conserve the material very well. It's not like you can get a lot of strength in these bits because they're kind of wide and fat. They have to be or they'll break. This is probably as narrow as I can go because see the damage? That indicates that this tip is a little bit too narrow for what I'm trying to do. If it damages the tool, it's a little bit too delicate for what I'm trying to do. Okay, so it'll have to be even fatter than this to prevent it from cracking, but so far so good. Maybe I can finish out. Yes. Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby. I do need some good thinning, a couple more good thinning strikes. Yeah, the speed that I can get more speed out of this. It feels a lot better than trying to do it with trying to hit with a short billet. But I got to be very careful about how I hit that edge right now. Okay. Missed it. Yes. It's not gonna do it. Okay. It tries to run the long flakes, but I don't think it'll be able to run the long flakes with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the copper to thin it down, and then we can continue with natural tools. I want to see if it can be thinned down. Okay. Otherwise, I don't know if it's me or the stone. I want to see if it can be thinned further than this, because I think I'm reaching my limit to safely thin this down with natural tools. So I'm going to try it, and I'm going to compare it to copper. And if it seems relatively easy, I'll go back to the Antler. It feels a little crunchy. It's safer to abrade more with if you're using the copper. Yeah. It tends to smash the edge because it's really hard metal. All right, so it's actually not that bad. So I just need more practice with the Antler. Yes, it's not too bad. It does feel a little bit crunchy. Let's see right there. It is difficult to run the long flakes. Let's try another long one. Yeah, see, even with an extremely hard hit with the copper, it still doesn't run them. All right, one more time. Yes. It's okay. I can't leave it like that because it's very difficult to get rid of the islands like that with Antler strikes. You got to get lucky. So hold on. Not done yet. I gotta clean up my mess ups. Yes. Is that good? No, it's not good yet. Hold on. Use a different abrading stone. One that is more sandstone-like. Maybe that'll take more of the edge off. Yes. I want to hit right here to get rid of that. Let's see if it works. Theoretically, it should. Yeah. Okay. So it is kind of crunchy. The flakes don't travel all that well, but they do travel. So let's go back to the Antler. Yeah. I can see that I'm reaching the limit of what I can do with the Antler though. Yeah. A couple more strikes with the Adze. Okay. Try it right there. I have to be very careful at this stage with the edge because it's starting to get thin. If I don't have everything just right, it will snap because I'll be hitting near the middle. Hitting in the middle is like the worst hazard of all when thinning. Yeah. I want to see if I can get a good strike with the adze. I think I can compensate for the lightness. It's not that heavy, and it does have some movement in the tip, but I think I can compensate just by speed and accuracy. Okay? All right. And if I'm more careful with the edge preparation, just to make it less crunchy on the edge, is what I mean by being more careful. A lot of times I can get away with the crunchiness on the edge, especially with copper, but it's not that advisable with natural tools. I don't know. Sometimes it works same no matter what. No matter what tool you use, it'll, even if you have a little bit of crunchiness, it still works, but I'm not going to take chances. Let's see if I can get one. I'm also hitting my leg with this handle down here. So that's a little bit of an impediment for the future, just something, a note to self in the future. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Let's switch to the regular billet. I think the regular billet will do it. I can't generate enough force with this, I don't think. All right, for what I want to do. Here we go. Yes? Yes. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm not able to generate as much force with this, even though I can increase the speed and accuracy. See, the tip sizes are different. This has a sharper tip, which concentrates the force more, but it also damages the tool more. But yeah, that's what I was after. I needed that. Yes. So with a billet strike, it worked better. Okay. All right, so let's do some final thinning up here, and then we can check the chat. See, that one's too, this is too crumbly, almost too crumbly. So let's go to the intermediary. See, I've got different grits. This is very crumbly, this is semi, and this is not so semi. So, these get less crumbly as I go this way. But these are all sandstone. Yeah, so this is the least crumbly sandstone that I have. Let's try that. I'm going to need a very persnickety edge on this side here too. I think it's good enough. Yes, maybe, sometimes. A little bit crunchy. I'm taking a chance. There's a little bit of a learning curve on this one too. I'm already getting used to the Adze. All right, so let's see. I need to get that tip thin down. I'm losing width fast. I'm just gonna have to use copper. Yeah, to conserve this, I'm gonna have to use the copper to get it thinner. Let's see. Let's try one more time. I'm trying different spots along the edge here because anywhere would work. Yeah, it's just not doing it. It's trying to do it. Yeah. See, you lose a lot of edge. Well, I lose a lot of edge. Let's put it that way. When I try to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. What is that kind of stuff? You know, thin it down more with a lot of force. I lose a lot of edge. Now the next step is just to make it symmetrical and clean it up a little bit on the surface in some areas where you get little defects. Yeah, like this right here. I can clean that up in a little bit. So the final thinning is mostly done. I can do a couple more hits, but I think I'm going to do those hits with copper so I don't lose a lot of the edge. Yeah. They're going to need to be hard hits to get that thin down because it's still relatively wide. I don't want to make it more narrow because I want to see how wide I can keep it. Yikes. Yeah, it's a little bit crunchy. I might just have lost the same amount of edge as I would have lost with the Antler. Dang it. Here I am saying I can preserve the edge with the copper and I didn't do it. Dang it. Okay. But there was it cracked in a weird way too. I don't know. All right, what time is it? Come on. It's got to get thinned down. I just need a little bit more. Yes. Almost there. One more. Yeah, it seems like it loses the same amount of edge either way. Okay. But I think I can get in. See, this side naps easier because it's a darker material. I can hit from either side though. I still have a little ways to go. I think, yeah. I could try hitting it with a billet, but I think it'll crunch it if I hit it with the billet. Don't want crunchiness. Still, it's still doing the same thing. Yeah. It doesn't like those inward strikes. But I feel more confident that I won't break it if I use copper, so that's why I'm continuing with the copper. I don't want to snap this after all this time that I put into it. That's my excuse. Yeah. It still doesn't look good. Hold on. It's got to be just right because it does not like those inward strikes. No, not at all. I didn't do it. It didn't go all the way. But I'm gonna try to re-hit that. See that? That's not good at all. Yeah, okay. There it is. It does not like the inward strikes. Not at all. But at least we got it. Yeah. There it is. Okay, so we can go back to the naturally scheduled programming. Go back to our regularly scheduled programming with natural tools, yes. I didn't have much of a different effect on it. Although it, yeah, I felt like it was less likely to break by doing those hard hits with copper. Yeah. But even with the hard hit with the copper, it still did that scoop out instead of traveling like it should have. Okay, so let's see. What's the ratio on this? I am curious to see what the ratio is on this. 40 millimeter by, where is it? That's the thickest part? Yeah, right there. 40 by 8, 7. Where is it? Come on. I can't see. Eight, yeah, 5-1. Good, that's good. And I had thinned down this area 5-1 with the Antler. It's just this area up here that I thinned down with the copper, right? I did do some little flakes with the copper down in here, but that was below that area that was below the whitest part. I'm just thinking, did that thickness get helped by copper or not? I don't know. I don't think it did. I think most of the stuff I did that with the billet. Okay, so let's look at the chat. Yeah, it's time for a break anyway. I started to get sweaty there. So we got some time. It's not 10 o'clock yet. What is that noise? Okay. So that's what we got so far. After, I don't know, an hour and 40 minutes? Dang. It's just average Texas chert raw. Hey, Ralph Snyder says, hey Patrick, is black walnut good for bows? Yeah, it's strong enough for bows. It actually works. Yeah. How do I know? I don't know. Let's see. What did I miss? Oh, let's go to the end first and see what I missed. Well, I miss a lot. Let's see here. Warrior Works. Someone's got a channel called Warrior Works. Let's see. Garrett says, I try that step fracture trick every time, and half the time it works. Half the time it works every time. Yeah, it doesn't always work, that's for sure. Hey, Red-Eyed Patriot is here. Michael's here. Zombie, my buddy, is Yapik Inuit from Alaska. He does custom ivory and stag handle on knives. Warrior Works. Oh, okay, that's where that comes from. Matal says, I don't know how much those glasses were used as eye protection. From what I understand, they were mostly for snow blindness, although I could see them working as eye protection too. Oh, those little squinty glasses with the slits. Yeah. They would probably mess up your depth perception. I would not use those for Flintknapping. Yeah. Ishi the Indian did not wear anything except for mud on his face. Ishi the Indian protected his face with a coat of mud before he started napping. In case you don't know. Inquiring minds want to know these things. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm not prepared at all. I had my son find me some rocks by the subdivision entrance. So you got access to free rocks around your subdivision? The landscaping? Glass Buttes is going on, I guess, right? Let me see. I'm looking at the chat for questions, okay? So just bear with me. Yeah, I know. Some people like the Inception thing anyway, so maybe it's slightly entertaining. Garrett asks me, anyone ever have to get stitches because of this hobby? Oh, yes. They might not admit it in the chat, or they might not be anyone in the chat that got stitches, but I've seen it. I have not got stitches, but I don't like stitches to begin with. I've gotten some pretty good cuts, but never had stitches. Not from Flintknapping. Grinders and sandpaper, the ancient way, yes. I cheat with the belt sander. Let's see. Yeah, I could generate plenty of force with these new tools, but it would sacrifice either accuracy or the tool itself. Even with Axis deer antler tips, I think it's still not strong enough for what I want to do. Because I want to have a more narrow tip to be more precise with my, more precise, more focused with my energy, so it doesn't take as much force to generate a flake. The more narrow the tip, the better. But even with Axis deer antler, it still chips. And the same happens with moose with me too. I had this moose antler, and this is where the skull was, and I still chip it. See that? Even though it's got part of the skull on it, I still chip it, and I have to grind this down, and I lost like 3/4 of an inch. The skull is pretty thick on the moose. So yeah, I think I lost 3/4 of an inch on this side. It was straight across. Or a 1/2 inch. Something like that on this side. Anyways, it's interesting. I think I might have better results on obsidian, but I'll try different bits with different sizes. There's also an idea that I had. I could strap a stone to the back of this, like a banner stone type of thing. I'm gonna figure out, maybe I should put leather between the stone and the wood. I can strap a stone back here to make it heavier, but I would need to secure this a little bit better, and we'll see. Put a different tip on it. Or what I could do also is I could drill a hole in this and put a stick in here and use this as a hammer. This side. I could drill a hole all the way through this and stick a stick in there. And it wouldn't really affect this very much. I mean, it would reduce the weight of this with a hole in it, but I could probably force another piece of antler down in there to reconstitute the weight. You know what I'm saying? I would drill a hole all the way through. That way I can, if I put a piece of antler there to re-weight this, I could take it back out if I want to put a stick. So that's what I think I might do with this one, or something similar. I have another one I could drill a hole in there and use that as a hammer with a handle on it. And it wouldn't move. You wouldn't have that movement in the tip. You know what I mean? So that's probably my next project, is to drill a hole in one of these. Something thick. The moose is actually the thickest, widest one I have, so put a handle in that. Yeah. Now let's get back to this, right? Or no? Yeah. Let's use some indirect percussion to get this looking better. And then we'll pressure flake it and be done with it. Okay, all right. I'm going to use this one. I haven't used this one in a while. Hopefully that's tougher than the other one. See, the other one was already getting too worn down and too pithy. These are my two indirect percussion flakers, my supported horizontal punches. This one, hopefully, still works. Let's see. Oh, I know it works, but on tougher stone, I don't know. They work better on tougher stone when they're not worn down. Let me see. I gotta think about the symmetry here. So this is just boring stuff now. I'm just trimming it. Making sure I don't hit it really hard because that'll snap it in half. And I can be very accurate with this. And I could have used indirect percussion a little bit earlier, but I wanted to try the Adze. And I think that with more practice, the Adze have become very easy to use. And the thing is, I could, since the bits are small, it requires less antlers to make several tools. Right? I can make several tools with small bits and pieces of the antlers for the bits. I can pressure flake that. Hold on. I can pressure flake the persnickety stuff. Yeah. I don't like losing a lot of the edge. I got to get serious if I want to try to thin this down more. Yeah, like that. And by serious, I mean I have to focus. Try not to think about too much. It's actually not too hard to remove the small flakes. I'm surprised that these little small flakes are not that. They're not that bad. I thought they'd be more difficult. Oh, yeah, spoke too soon. Yeah, people usually ask, did they use indirect percussion back in the day? Well, another name for indirect percussion is just punch work. It's either going to be vertical punch or horizontal punch. I don't use much vertical punch, if any. I use horizontal punch, but you can use vertical punch for this step. So yeah, I think they used indirect percussion, just maybe not the way I do it. It's not going to work. Not like that. I might have ground it down too much. Yeah, it didn't reach. It does not like the inward force at all. It doesn't mind downward. Yeah, it doesn't mind the downward strikes, but the inward, it does not like it all. So to make it nice and pretty, I'm going to have to pressure flake it and then redo the edges. Oh yeah, I made a new pressure flaker today from an old piece of elk antler. So I'm going to try this for the pressure flaker today. Today's pressure flaker is elk antler. Yeah. It was an old indirect percussion horizontal punch, just like this one here. This is what happens with the punches when they get too old. Turn them into pressure flakers. Let's see if it works, though, before I speak too soon. It might not be a good pressure flaker. It might not be comfortable. Because I normally don't like these straight pressure flakers, the ones that are straight. I like the pistol grip ones, so to speak. What is that? It's like this. I like these pistol grip ones like this, not the straight ones. But I want to try it out because I don't want to waste the antler, right? So I just converted one of my old punches into a pressure flaker. Yeah. Yeah, like that. It is crunchy though. Yeah, but I can get some pressure flakes. That's good. It just crunches a little bit. Yeah, they do run. They do run well. I just wish they wouldn't. They wouldn't take so much of the edge with it. Same procedure, same everything with copper or antler. You know, you grind it, you experiment, you run long flakes and short flakes, you change the angles. Everything's same old, except different tools and slightly different force. You'd use more force with antler in general. When it tires me out more with antler, so that's how I know I'm using more force. It's a subtle difference. The elk antler is holding up pretty good though. It did chip a little bit, but in general, I'm using a lot of force, and it's holding up pretty good. Yeah, but I think the whitetail actually might be better. But I don't know. It depends on the antler you get. You know, I shouldn't speak too soon because sometimes it depends on the antler. Some antlers are much stronger than others, believe it or not. Within the same species, sometimes one elk antler is heavier, much heavier than the others, and stronger and all that. Dang it. It's not doing it. It's just biting everything. It's not good when it takes bites out of the edge. In case you didn't know. In case you're just tuning in and you're going, oh, that was kind of cool. It took off a little bit off the edge. No, it's not cool. Took off a little bit of the bite. No, it's not good. I want to switch over to only copper. I can Well, I don't know. I was not able to run much longer flakes of copper, was I? I'm just going to leave in the step fractures, yes. I'm not trying to sharpen it. What I'm trying to do with the indirect percussion is just get it more tapered and nice and even and smooth, but it's not working. The smoothness is not working. The tapering is okay, but the smoothness is not. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to ever take that scoop out of there. Yeah, I'm hitting a wall on everything. Without more force, I'm not going to be able to make those flakes travel where I want. If I hit this harder than I am now, it's going to break the tip of the antler. And it's going to wear it down too fast. So let's just put some notches in it. It's already 10, right? What should I do for notching? Some easy peasy notchings? Yeah, easy peasy stuff. And then I can haft it. What's the easy peasy notching? I can do like a Nolan point. Easy peasy. I saw a Nolan point somebody made recently. Who was it on YouTube? Might it might have even been someone in the community section of my channel. I saw a Nolan point someone had made today. Come on. Is it going to be easy to sharpen or not? That's a good question. I don't know. I want to try to get these little step fractures out. The ones near the edge. The ones in the middle, I probably can't do anything about those. Even the ones near the tip or near the edge, I don't know. It's not going to forget that. And I don't like that straight pressure flaker either. I mean, I like it okay, but only for delicate work. Yeah. This requires too much force. Yeah, like that. Yes. I think I'm thinning it down. Am I actually making it thinner? No. Yes. It doesn't matter. I just want to get the tip sharp. How's that? I think I got the tip smoothed out enough that I can feel good about it. As long as all the material at the tip is nice and smooth, that's what I'm after on this one. Yeah. Okay, so I can sharpen it from there. Yeah. Once it's nice and smooth. Yeah. Okay. Is this going to come out? No? Yes? Nah, it's stuck in there. Okay, so if I make a Nolan, I just, make two big old concavities in each side, and I only flake in one direction. Easy peasy. I can't remember if a Nolan has a flat base or not. Let's look in the book. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Nolans that are in this book, Stone Artifacts of Texas Indians. And you look them up in alphabetical order. Yeah. The cool thing is these are actual size in this book. And let's see what I'm talking about, in case you don't know. And these are all drawings, yes, but they're actual size. This is a Nolan right here. See that? They just kind of pressure flake the sides. And mine's perfect. It's flat, right? Well, some of them are rounded, but these are either flat or concave, or no, this one's rounded. So yeah, easy peasy. I'm within the size range of a Nolan. Although a lot of these are heavily resharpened. Yeah. I don't want to do nothing fancy. No. Morhis, these are super thick. These are large and heavy. The Morhills, yeah. See how narrow they are? They probably did that so they can run the flakes on cruddy stuff like this without having to worry too much about not being able to run flakes across. See, they didn't even go past halfway on a lot of these. And look at that. They're in the spot where there's the best material in Texas. And yet these points look like they're made by, elementary school nappers. Interesting how that works, huh? Let me see. Yeah, I can make Merrill. Yeah. I'm not going to make a Merrill because my name's not Daryl. How about this? Langtree? Yeah, it's not thin enough. These are very thin. But we don't get side views because this book is lame. How about this? How about a Lang point? I do like Lang points. These are thick, right? Or no? Large point, prominent shoulders that are sometimes barbed, expanding stem. It doesn't say how thick these are. That's the bummer. But I like this look to it. And it, the place where this rock comes from is not quite there. It's like on the northern tip of that. But I can make a Lang point. I have to constrict the sides here. These are constricted down in there. And then there's an expanding stem. It's got kind of good notches. People still look at books, I guess. Yeah, they still do, because how else are you going to get the actual size? You get the actual size from the internet? Yeah, if you're technical, you can enlarge or reduce the size of the screen to match this. If you have a scale besides the artifact, you can get an actual size on the phone screen, but sometimes they're really big, and you can't get the full size on the phone. You probably can with this, though. So we do a Lang point or a Nolan. See, Lang has a convex base, so I don't have to do much work on that one. Just do something and shut up. All right, I'll do something. Constrict the sides a little bit. What am I doing? Making it more narrow. I need to constrict this area here a little bit. So while I'm doing that, I can do some of the other edge. Yeah, like that. Yeah, good. Pressure flakes a little bit better than I thought. Or that was just lucky. I think maybe that was just lucky. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to notch these because it's really thick. I don't have a vertical punch to make it easier. Vertical punching can make it easier to notch these. I just use the pistol grip type notcher. I say just. I might not be able to do it. If I push any harder, I just eat into the antler and don't. It's not going to do anything. Yeah, I might be able to do it. We shall see. Get some leg assist going here. It's not going to do it. It's already chewing on the antler. Yeah, it's not going to do it. So I guess it's going to have to be a Nolan. Unless I thin down the base more. Let's see. I could try that. But I would use copper. I would have to cheat, okay, and use copper and thin this down more. Maybe I should just... No, hold on. I will try the indirect percussion with the antler first. It just seems to be... Yeah, it's really thick right here, so... I'm going to try to thin down the base to get those notches looking better. Because once this is thinner down here, I can drive those notches better. Yeah. And I can thin from the base, and I can thin from the side, and we'll see how it works. Let's see how it goes on thinning from the base. Do that first because do it when it's still strong in the middle. Turn it. Turn to the harder side of that antler. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so that's the goal, right? Let's see if I can thin it down some more. Yes. Yeah, that was pretty good, actually. Thinned it down pretty good. Now let's try this. From the side, I can try to get rid of that step fracturing. How many strikes does it take to get to that center of that Tootsie Pop? So far, one. Let's see if 2 strikes or 2 licks can get to the center of that Tootsie Pop. One more. Get rid of that step fracture. Am I thin enough here? I'm not actually thin enough, but we'll see. I missed. It didn't really go up to the edge of the notch, which I was hoping that would go closer to the notch. We'll see if it works. Let me just see if I can get rid of that step fracture, or at least most of it. Minimize it. Yeah, like that. Minimize it. Yes. Getting too greedy? Probably. I'm gonna pause to cheat a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There it is. What little step fractures? I don't see them anymore. Where'd it go? Hey, wait a second. Where did they go? I don't know. I don't know what it was that did it. No. Yay. I like it. I like it when it gets thinned down in the area of the notching. Yeah. And when it terminates without a step fracture, I like it even better.
Wait, no, you cheated.
I did not. I did not. No, it's not cheating. I should not be greedy. That's the biggest lesson. Don't be too greedy, because now I'm thinking maybe I can thin it more with all that luck I had. No, that's it. Let's see if I can get that notch deeper. That flake might release at the bottom of the notch. Now that it doesn't have much behind it, I might be able to pop that one out. Yes. Let's try to make it better. Work on the edge a little bit. No, it's tearing into the antler. Hold on. I gotta dress that up. Okay. Looks pretty nasty. I don't know. If I can just go 1/16 of an inch more, it would work. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that was a good pop out. Except I took some of that ear off. You know what? That might work though. That was a big old flake. But it took off a little bit too much. Yeah. That's all right. It'll just make it easier on the other side. Yeah. Easier to symmetritize it. Okay? All right. Let's see if I can get this. All right. Some leg assist. That's not going to do it. It doesn't feel like it's any easier. Hold on. Let's see. Let's move this camera a little bit. Maximize the leg assist. It's not going to do it. You know what that means? Got to use a notch-o-matic. Yeah. You haven't seen a notch-o-matic in a while, huh? I got 3 of them, different sizes. I'm gonna be sneaky. Yeah, when all else fails, and all else did fail, Let's get Nacho to do it. Okay? What is Nacho? Don't worry about it. No, do not worry. You'll live longer. Even Nacho's having a hard time with it. Yeah, even Nacho's having a hard time with this. It's not. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to win. Come on. Yeah, okay, that one worked. Little bitty flick right there. But that's it. That was a wimpy attempt. Let's try again. I'm using a pointed one because I want to get in there to do just a simple pop out and get it restarted again. Go back to the Antler. I could use the other types also. You know, the chisel tips. But these are usually for much bigger flakes. I just want little flakes at the bottom of that notch to get it restarted or unstalled or restarted, whichever you want to call it. I made it even more pointy so I can just get rid of that thick spot. And that's it. Just help me get rid of the thick spot. Let's try the other side. No. What is it doing? It got rid of it. I probably could have done that with the Antler too. Anyways, let's go. Let's get back to it. Where's my flicker? Did I lose it? I did. I misplaced the flicker. It's my favorite flicker. Can you see it? Am I looking right at it? When I do it, I must be looking right at it because I don't see it. It's not this one. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so let's see if this still, well, I could look at the Langs again in the book, but we're just going to go with it. Work with what we have. Can we see? Can't see, even with dark background. What's the matter? Man, it doesn't want to do it. But I think we can match that on the other side easily. If only it was that easy on the first side. Well, it's pretty good, a good resistance. Why don't I have a vertical punch? Well, I can invent one. Let's see. I can use this as a vertical punch. Let's see if that works. If it breaks, oh well. Let's see if I can do it. It's probably already too crushed. Let's see. I have not used this as a vertical punch yet. Is it going to work? Or is it too? It's not set up for it. Hold on. It's too thin. It was a little bit too thin. It would crush. I just beefed it up a little bit and I made it flatter. Now let's see if I can. Feels like it might work. See if I can do it. Just gonna hit it with the indirect mallet. Yeah. Then I'm gonna use the corner of the notcher. This is a notcher, but I usually reserve it for horizontal notching, not this vertical punch stuff. Come on. Yay. Did it do it? It's doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it right on my leg too. Because it's just snappy little hits. It's not a big hit. It's just snappy little hit. Like that. Yes. Blew away quite a bit. Just grind off the delicate spots and try it over. I mean, turn it over and try again. Make sure it's not all eaten up. Here we go. Yes. Yeah, not too shabby. Let's see. Yeah, it looks familiar. Some of the artifacts look like that. But I need to clean up the bottom of that notch. Much easier to do with pressure. Clean that up and make it nice and pretty. Kind of, sort of. So that side looks much better than this side. I'm going to have to fix the bad side here. I want to cheat. Make the bad side look better. But not with Antler because I can't force my way through there. Could I punch it? If I do it, I'll remove too much of the side of the stem, or I'll blow that barb even shorter, blow it out and become shorter. So let's see, what can I use? Where's my other? I've got a bunch of tools, but not the one I need. There it is. I must have cleaned up a little bit, huh? Can't find nothing. Even this is having a hard time. Oh, no. Come on. Even the steel, it's not doing it. There it is. Glad it didn't bend it. What time is it? Is it time for anybody's bedtime yet? It's already 10:30. Let's finish this out. I said, how many times have I said that already? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Like that. So should I leave it asymmetrical? Maybe. Yeah, the Lang in the book looks a little bit better than this. What's the Lang? You missed it. You missed when I looked up the points in the book. So right now I'm just making the edges look better. And I'm going to be sharpening this a little bit, not too much, and then I'll put it in a haft and wrap it. Which reminds me, I need to soak the sinew. Yeah. Good thing you reminded me. What is soak the sinew? This is soak the sinew. Sinew. And no, I don't put it in my mouth because I don't know where it's been. Yeah. Well, I know where it's been. I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it. Okay. So I'm just going to go around the edges and sharpen them up while the sinew is soaking. I'll show you how I sharpen this. I'm just going to put a little bevel on it. Well, starting it. It's not going to, probably not going to look like a bevel. But I'm just going to be moving flakes from one side. That's it. And the more times you do it, the more of a bevel it creates. If you don't break off the side like that. Becoming too aggressive. I'm becoming too aggressive in my old age. Yeah. I wish. Let's try the other pressure flake. Yeah, I can dig in more with this. But it crunches more. That's not good. So I need to just flake on one side, almost like beveling. It's like the first pass of beveling. Right? Right. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? No? It's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know this part. But yeah, scooping out one edge makes it sharper. Scooping out one side of the edge makes it sharper and thinner. Although I see some thick spots. All right, so good enough. It's eating the antler for lunch. But pressure flakers are not as much affected by that as percussion flakers. If your percussion flaker is getting eaten for lunch, it changes your whole technique, because then you got to work with some different shaped tip once you dress it, because it gets thicker. And with a pressure flaker, you can keep it pretty much the same size when you fix it. But with a percussion flaker, it's a little more difficult. The percussion flakers wear down faster. Okay, so let me dig in here. I need to take off some good flakes. Yeah, like that. No, not like that. No, like that. Like that. Yeah, like that. Come on. Am I getting symmetrized? Almost. Yes, not too much. We're just waiting for the sinew to soften up. Oh, we still got to pick out a foreshaft too. That would just leave it all kind of wonky. See, I took off, when I was pressure flaking earlier, I ripped off part of the side there, so there's not much I can do with that. You know, I could try to press off another flake maybe. Not much I can do as far as quick sharpening of that little dull spot without doing that. Are we there yet? At least it's a little bit sharper.
Bro, you're ruining it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get it hafted before I go crazy. All right, let's see, what do we got? All my extra sinew. Yeah. Oh, I got more than that, but that's just what I have available right now. Let's see, does it go in this one like last time? Yes, it does. This is the same one I used on one of the other videos, as far as the foreshaft goes. See that? Yeah. I'm going to use this one. Nope, it goes better the other way. No, it's even more crooked that way. Let's see. I think I can get it in there straight. No, it doesn't work with that one either. What's holding it back? It's too thick on one side. So how do we fix it? We have to run another flake into the center, or pick a different foreshaft. But I don't want to do that. Or just don't care about it being off. It's not perfectly straight, and if I put it in the other way, it's even worse. So the way to fix it is to remove more mass off of this side. Hey, Jay Valadez, Jorge Valadez, $9.99 super chat. Looks fantastic, and yet another great live. By the way, curved knife I received is truly amazing. Beautiful work. Thanks, Crafty. You the man. I'm glad you like it. I'm very glad you like it. You're very welcome. I actually enjoy making those. Believe it or not. So do I want to thin this down more? I kind of do, but I don't know. It's going to turn into a 3-hour live stream and then my microphone might cut out. Let's see. What else did I miss? I'll look at the chat in a minute. I just want to see. Let me check. Let me see what other foreshafts I have that might work with this. That's too small. We're going to have to use one of my old ones. Yeah, I think I might have to use one of my old ones. Yeah. Why does it work better? Because it has a wider notch at the bottom. Most of my foreshafts have square bottom notches just for this circumstance. Yeah, that works. The wider the bottom of the notch, the more you can adjust it, and the more you can move it. This one has kind of a roundedness to it. This one is more square. Yeah, so this is a good foreshaft. Yep. Why is it good? Because I say so. Yep. So how do I have to? I use modeling clay as a substitute for real glue, but you would use some sort of resin or asphaltum or a combination of both resin and asphaltum. And what is resin? Anything from a tree that's sap. You can use softwood trees or hardwood trees. They both produce resins. The most common, of course, is the pine resin or rosin, whichever you want to use as the terminology. But you can use the resin from all kinds of different trees. And I just posted something that says you can use that sumac, what is it, staghorn sumac tree resin. I think now is the time to harvest it in the spring when it starts to flow. It's more sticky when it first starts flowing. If you wait until fall, the sap is not as good, in my view, in my experience with hardwood trees or any kind of tree that's not pine. It's best to get the resin in the spring when it's more sticky. Okay? That's just my observation. You might have, your results may vary. Okay? So I'm using modeling clay to take take the place of resin, hot melt resin. Not just any resin. You got to be able to melt it when it's hot, so that when it cools, it gets harder. And the hot melt glues are better because you don't have to wait for it to dry. Number one. Number two, there's two reasons. Number two is it doesn't shrink as much. With water-based and non-hot melt, it shrinks and causes gaps as it dries. But with a hot melt, it doesn't shrink. It doesn't need to dry. So that means it's not losing water. The water's already been melted out of it or evaporated out of the hot melt. Get it? Got it? Good. So yeah, this is how it looks like with the resin glue. If you add charcoal, you don't have to add charcoal to the resin glue, believe it or not. Okay, so you put some down in the notch and you gotta make sure that the transition is nice and smooth between the wood and the stone. Okay, all the way around. And then you wrap it. Now, a lot of times you see artifacts have the wrap up over the top of the wood, and that's the way I like to do it. But for my videos, I just do however I can do it quickly, right? But if you want to do it like artifacts, usually they wrap up over the top of the wood, and there's barely any glue showing, if any. Okay? You know what I mean or no? Maybe you don't know what I mean. It's okay. Let me take my glove off.
Can't see anything because you got a bunch of mess down there, bro.
Yeah, I know. I see that. I can't cover it. Can I cover it up? I can try to cover it up. Hold on. I'm late anyway. That live stream went 3 hours. Yes, yeah, it's going to be 3 hours before it finishes. Let's do this. That way we can see better. Yeah. So the sinew sticks to itself. This is elk backstrap sinew. It's long. See how long it is? I think it's 17 inches or something on average. It's best to have these long pieces because it makes it much easier. And when you put the sinew up over the top of the wood, it creates a little arc of sinew at the top. I'll show you. I'm going to have a little bit of glue sticking out, of course. You'll see what I mean in a second. Let's see. Make sure overlap this and then go back up. See, you go up over the top of the wood like this. So you have like the sinew goes up over, and it's not a problem. It stays up there as long as the wood is tapered. Okay? If the wood is not tapered, okay, let's see. The audio quit. Let's see what it is now. Yes, do we have audio yet? Okay, let's see. The audio quit. Okay. Let's see what it is now. So I unplugged the external microphone and it is working again. Sorry about that. Thank you for the super chats for the bad audio. Sorry you had to pay for that. Sorry about that. But anyway, that's how I would have to. How long has it been since it cut out? That's terrible. Let's see. There we go. All right, we're back online. Everything's good. Silent napping. I wasn't explaining too much anyway, right? You could see what I was doing. Ed Gould, $5 super chat. Microphone dead, says Sal, $1.99. Alan Cole, $2. Thank you for letting me know. If you hadn't done that with the super chats, I would not have known. But yeah, I wasn't explaining too much. You can kind of see what I was doing. I was just commenting on the different resins and stuff that you could use. Dockenstein, $1. Yeah. Check your audio. Yes. How long ago was it? If the wood's not tapered, what happens, man? If the wood is not tapered, the sinew doesn't sit on there correctly. Yeah. So it's important to taper the wood so the sinew sits on there correctly. See how it goes up over the top of the wood and with very little glue exposed? Sometimes on artifacts you don't see any glue exposed. Where's the batch of foreshafts? How can I lose a whole box of foreshafts unless I'm looking right at it? Alright, here it is. Let's put this away. We don't need any more of the sinew. This is wet sinew. It's still sticky after using it, 4, 5, 6 times. But it doesn't stick to your fingers, which is good. Let's take this off. No? It's still sticky. All right. Yeah, I bumped my finger on the sander earlier. So what I mean by the taper at the end of the wood, see how it tapers? That way when you wrap above and up on top of the wood, the sinew stays up there. It doesn't come back down. It stays up over the top like that. And that helps because when you hit something, the fact that it's up against the bottom of that notch and up on the wood like that, it resists the downward force. See what I mean? If you have this tapered, the sinew is up over the top of that wood, and it right up against the bottom of the notching, it resists. And I wanted to say that twice just in case I didn't say it right. But this was the original one I was going to haft it into, but the notch is not wide enough at the bottom for the adjustment. But this one was. Okay, but they're basically the same. Oh no, this was a lot thicker. Anyways, they're both at ladle dart foreshafts in range of their artifacts. Same size as the artifacts. But they range, like, I think this might be 12 centimeters across, and this might be 16 or 17 centimeters across. That's within range. I said centimeters when I meant millimeters. That's the range of at ladle dart foreshafts. And they can be various lengths, but usually they're not that long. They're not longer than 8 inches, let's say, usually. Okay. Do I use any of the tools I make? Yeah, sometimes. I used to use these as knives whenever I was experimenting with deer hides, because I did a lot of deer hide processing just so I can get used to it. I was going to make brain tan, but I ended up just making rawhides and cutting up rawhides. But yeah, to trim the hides and to sometimes to take the hair off and stuff like that, I would use some of these tools. But and also mainly for butchering, cutting meat and stuff. That's what I would use these for. Now, shooting them, I don't shoot the stone tools. I don't shoot the stone points. I have used knives, stone knives like this, but like I said, mainly for butchering. I don't like shooting these because they break.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. You need to kill something with it.
Yeah, I know, but I use firearms when I go hunting. I don't use these. I know. Should be using them. Could have also used this one. This one's got a big square notch at the bottom. Square bottom on the notch. Okay, so let's see. What else we got in the chat? Battery died. Yeah, okay. So that's what happens to my microphones. My external microphones, they die. Let me turn the heater off. Because I bet you that's interfering with the sound. Hold on. Battery died. Yeah, okay. So that's what happens to my microphones. My external microphones, they die. Okay, so we got good audio. Thank you everybody for showing up. I'm going to call it a night. I made a Lang point. Yeah. You can look it up in the book that I was using. Let's see. And it is a little dart point, the Lang point. It's in this book here. Let's see. LM. I could have made a Martindale, but the Lang was easy. Right? Yeah. Yeah, one of these. I tried to make this one here, but the notching didn't go very well. Okay. And these are actual size in the book. So that's what I made. I made a Lang point. And you don't see the side views on here, but I think they're kind of thick in the real ones. I made mine as thin as I could go with the natural tools. I might have been able to go slightly thinner with copper, but it was still giving me some trouble, this particular stone. It has some translucency to it. Let's see. It's a Texas chert from Central Texas, this stuff here. All right. And it's not heat treated. It's got some slight translucency to it. All right. Okay. I think that's it. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, next live stream is on Monday. Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. And I'm also having the auction on Monday. Every Monday I have an auction. I sell everything I make during the week. Okay. I think that's it, right? I'm looking for questions to make sure I don't miss any. Is that in the range of for Pedernales points where the dart? Yeah, same. Pedernales is approximately the same size, yeah, as the Lang points. And they are the more narrow stemmed Pedernales are dart points. But the big ones that have wide stems, I think they were knives. If the stem is wider than 3/4 of an inch, it's kind of hard to put it on a foreshaft, so I consider those knives. It's easy to put them on a knife handle when the stem is wider than 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I think that's it. So before the sound went out, I don't think there was any questions. Let's see. Talking about other stuff. Okay. Tradbo 85 was here. Haven't seen you in a while. Who else? Okay, that's it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Monday's the next live stream. And after next week, I'm going to be on my trip. So, my live streams will be kind of chaotic, but I'll keep you posted. I'll try to do a live stream, at least one live stream from the Knapping. I'm going to try to get there early, but we'll see. If I get there early, I can probably do 2 live streams from the nap in Brady, Texas. We'll see. But at least one live stream like I did before. And a video, a walk around video of everybody's stuff. So 2 videos from that nap in, most likely. But my schedule will be thrown off except for the auction schedule, which is always the same. But my live stream and my other videos, the schedule is going to be thrown off. But the auction, like I said, same old, same old. All right, we'll see you guys later. Okay, this is a chert. Someone asked a question at the very last second. It's a chert or a flint from Texas. Yeah. It was the same. This came from the same batch. Or it's the same nodule. You'll have to rewind the live stream when I end the live stream. Or you can rewind it now, I guess. But yeah, I made it from a rock. It's a chert. It's not obsidian. Chert and flint are almost the same thing. There's just slight differences between chert and flint. Okay? Does that answer the question? All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.